Yeah, I'm back on. I never know what to do with the intros.
Is this life? Is this life?
There's no loss without some gain.
Insert something really dope right here.
If you scared to take a chance,
If you with me, then I'm with you.
And we're back here with episode 4 of One Day. What's up? Next week have been a month. It'll have been a month. So yeah, a month of doing the webcast. Yeah, about life. And we're setting the foundation here with the first 3 steps, and the only 3 steps that I've come up with to becoming one. We talked about being aware and what that means, and then finding your truth was last week's episode. And hopefully y'all have been bearing with me, because now we're talking about finally the piece de resistance, becoming one. And this is pretty much what my life has been geared towards for the past couple years now. Just really wanting to find oneness, fulfillment in my life. But here, let's do some review. Let's do some review. So, in awareness, we talked about being aware, opening our minds, widening our perceptions, and trying to understand more that there are different modes of knowing, that there are different people who understand things and know things in different ways, and there's different expressions of truth. People have different experiences, different lives, obviously. So when it comes to what oneness means to you, and what your purpose is in life, you really kind of got to break it down to, okay, well, what do you know? Where's your awareness? How much are you willing to open yourself to, and I mean, ultimately know in your life? Because, I mean, for me, I've always been oriented towards this type of, all right, well, let's break it down. Let's get deep in it. Let's figure out the answer to the big why. So in my life, as I've become more aware of myself, more aware of people around me, it's only helped me to get closer to realizing, oh, well, what's true for me, what's really resonates with me on a daily basis, is people. It's culture. It's other understandings of life. Those are the things that attract me. It's the pursuit of truth that I like, that I really get gassed up over. I really get excited on, because anybody can lie, anybody can come up with something, anybody can, falsify or fake. I mean, it's, especially if you get into the routine of lying or the routine of, avoiding truth, it kind of, for some people, becomes easier to make up stuff than to face reality or to face what is true. So for me, that's all I've ever wanted, is more of that, more true, because I'm kind of fed up with being fed fake stuff, whatever it is, whether it's fake thoughts, fake feelings, fake expectations, things that don't actually give me any substance, any oomph to what it is you're telling me, or what it is, who you are. Like, if somebody totally bases their personality, their persona, themselves off of nothing, really, nothing that's true, nothing that's honest, nothing that is, rooted in what's real. Because what's real is, I was born in Southfield, and I grew up a lot of my life in Livonia. I went to school, I did this, did that, and I, wanted to find myself, and so I decided to change routes and go on this journey where I followed my heart, do the things that are that I'm passionate about, the things that I do find true. And that to me is the truth. That to me is my story. That's my truth. That's the thing that I get to celebrate whenever somebody meets me for the first time, or I get to celebrate in doing what I love, making music or making this podcast. I get to be my full, authentic, true self. And that to me is valuable. I love this stuff, dude. I wish that I could have gone to school for it, which is a lot of the reason that you don't really see me holding up the piece of paper right now. But that to me has brought me more happiness. That to me has brought me more fulfillment, brought me closer to being one. When I start to do the things in my life that are geared towards or oriented towards the things that I find true, whether it be of myself or even just in life in general, there are things that there are qualities, values, and yeah, even just, I mean, in a general sense, things that I find in my life that that reign true. They ring to me, they call to me, and it's following those and listening to that feeling inside my chest, or maybe that little voice in the back of my head saying, hey, you know what, this, if anything, I wish I was doing this. And I like to keep it realistic. I like to keep things in a realm of reality where I know that it's possible, where I know that I have the ability, the mindset, I put a lot of thought and consideration and emotion, attention, intention into who I am and what I do. But that's only brought me more security, more structure, more confidence to be able to actually do the thing, to actually open myself up, be vulnerable, stutter, make mistakes, be sorry, but who I am in front of all y'all. So, maybe your truth isn't talking. Maybe the way that you express yourself isn't through words. And maybe the things that are true for you, the way that the path that your life story has brought you on and has made you in this moment, maybe that's oriented towards something else. And this podcast, this webcast, me with you, is trying to help you figure out what that is, trying to figure out what your oneness is, because I'm on the journey, y'all. I'm going on it, and there's no stopping it. I love it every single day. I'm reminded, even if it's a bad day, even if it's hard, even if it sucks, I'm reminded of the purpose, the meaning behind it. This is getting me closer to who I have to be. Even though this is hard, I have to learn these lessons to become better. Even if this is a good day, I have to prep myself to know that not every day is going to be like this. So take this day for what it is, be grateful for it, have a positive attitude about it, and then move on. So I want to encourage you in that, because we've been going through a lot of struggle, a lot of suffering. And whether you have been directly affected or indirectly affected, I mean, you are affected. And I'm sorry, I might sound like a lot of people talking right now, but it's true. Like, a lot of us have been hurt by these times, and I know we call them these times, but it's true. That's what it is. And I've been taking some good time to be able to sit with myself and know myself intimately, so that I, kind of have this a little bit of a safety net in myself, where even if I, am opening myself up to a lot of different perceptions, a lot of different modes of knowing and awarenesses out there in the world, that I'm still grounded in my own oneness, that I'm still grounded in who I am and what I know. And sorry, I would love to learn more, but what I know right now is what I know. So that's, again, all I can really give you. But I'm willing to go all in. I'm still willing to give you what I know, and hopefully along the road here, I can help you out and provide you with something that does feed into what it is that you're up to right now. I would hate to spend all this time and effort doing something like this if it didn't actually do anything for you. I'm not trying to distract you, not trying to take you away from what it is that you're meant to do. I'm trying to get you honed in and focused on what that is, because I really do believe that there's a reason behind. There's a why. There is a why. There's behind what we do, and the more that I live life, the more that I experience things, I'm only reminded. I'm only actually convinced deeper that that's the truth. Plus, I've been through a lot where I chances are I probably shouldn't even be here right now. So the fact that I am here to be able to talk with you and give you this is enough for me to want to go off. I want to become one and bring you to oneness. So let's open that door. So what oneness means to me is seeking alignment and enlightenment. I want to learn more, know more as I mature and become more experienced and more wise. I also want to find alignment. I want to find that the things that I do are leading me along a string of decisions and moments to ultimately do what I'm meant to do, and to see all the things that happen in my life where maybe I'm feeling like doing this podcast, right? But and I usually do it on hump day just to help get you through the week. Sometimes uploading has pushed me back to Thursday, but but today, the reason I'm recording this on a Thursday is last night I had some buddies over, and and the way that things were lining up was that I should probably just enjoy myself and wait to do the podcast until I have the period of time to be able to sit here, put my full attention, my full focus in on this. And especially for this episode, this is one of the more important episodes, because this is me sharing with you finally what I've been getting at when it comes to being one. This is, I might look back at this and think, gosh, bro, that's such a young and noobish understanding of what oneness really is in its full entirety. But to at least begin to have that, to open up the door for that conversation, to at least begin talking about this and sharing this with you, because this is a lot of what's driven me and brought me to do what I'm doing and to be who I am. And it's important that as an artist, if I'm trying to, make something that celebrates your oneness and celebrates the oneness of life, I want to make sure that that I understand what I'm talking about, because I don't want to just be one and then, oh my gosh, what a great idea, what a great idea, but then that's all it is an idea. There's no truth behind it. There's no actual physical, tangible evidence of that being what's real. Where I'm sorry, but I've experienced so much physical, tangible evidence of life being this journey, orienting you towards knowing yourself, orienting you towards being one with yourself, but also breaking down that wall of it just being you being the only one, and you being alone in that. No, everybody, anybody, at any time, at any place, can find their oneness, this state of being. I mean, it's really just that. It's really just the state of being. You're surrounded by awareness. You're comforted by knowing that you're in your truth. But then you get to feel the fullness of one, of being one, of knowing that everything I've experienced has been important, has brought me to becoming who I am. And honestly, even though I would go back to those moments, like, I know that they existed for a reason, and I'm grateful for everything that I've been through. But I know now I don't have to go back. I don't have to live in the habits or in the confinements, the structure of being who I have been in the past, because I am learning, I am growing, I am becoming more enlightened to what life is. And I wish I could say, I'm the enlightened one. What's up? I'm totally enlightened and I know everything and everything is me and it's all here, y'all. As much as I kind of wish I could say that, I see the importance in becoming, in there just being the process of of, all right, I am one and I'm becoming one, but I'm also, incomplete. Because, I mean, what is one without two? What is two without three? Like, there are so many things that have contributed to bringing me here and to to making me, really, that I, first of all, feel like I owe you. I owe all the people that have touched my heart and touched my life and helped me in some way be who I am, because I honestly, I've been a person in my past that I'm not very proud of. And I've unfortunately had to be that person to be the person that I am now, which is like unfortunate, but also fortunate, because I'm starting to like myself. I really am. I'm starting to, see these things that I think and the things that I feel. And finally, when I, get the guts to get the balls to say them, I finally kind of get to see myself a little bit, get to learn more about what it is that's important to me. And I mean, y'all get 30 minutes at a time, or 5 minutes at a time if you're listening to the music, which I hope you are. But I gotta deal with this guy 24/7. I gotta deal with myself all the time. So to be able to ground myself and root myself in what it is that I really care about, what it is that I really want to be doing with my time and with my life, like, to do that, like, that's so important to me. And if that's important to you, all I want to be is a help to you, an encouraging factor, a guide, if you will, to push you in that direction. Because I think we all deserve to find that type of enlightenment, that type of alignment in our lives. It brings this sense of security and safety and confidence that you are where you need to be. And when you're in that mode, if anybody needs help from you, or needs your presence, or needs you to be there, you can do that. And they can trust that you can do that. They can trust that you'll be present. They can trust that you'll actually be committed to giving your oneness to them, giving your all to them, giving yourself to them. Again, back, if I could take it back to thinking about myself in my past, there was a lot of times where I didn't have that alignment. I think there's been something in me that's always wanted to seek enlightenment. I've always wanted to learn more. I've always wanted to know more. I've always wanted to be better. But to actually see the alignment part of that, to actually see how life is contributing to bringing me there. How if I meet life halfway, if I say, all right, life, I really want to commit to this, I really want to be this, that life will start to help you. It'll start to bring the people and the places and the situations that you need to get closer in your presence. It'll bring it to you. And I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of, right when I need it, the universe is bringing me exactly what I need. And to find that, to see that, to experience that, has been, it almost seems like otherworldly. It's like, oh my gosh, am I being watched? Is my FBI agent recording me on my phone right now? Like, how did they know that this is exactly what I needed, or this is the person that I needed, or this is the situation or the place, or, oh my gosh, like, it can get trippy. But to be able to find that grounding in it all, to be able to find your oneness and say, okay, this is my foundation. This is who I am. This is what I've been through. This is what I believe. These are my values. This is what I hold true, and this is what I'm aware of. If you can break that down for yourself, then sorry, but in a way you're untouchable. In a way you're invincible. The distractions and the anxieties of the world, all the little voices and the chattering trying to get in your head, trying to shake you off your path, whatever it is, you have found your zone. You have found your home in yourself and in the people, the places, the things that you trust, that you know are true, that you know bring truth to your life, that you know support your awareness, support your journey into becoming. That's, the things that bring you to knowing that the things that you think, the things that you feel, and what you're doing are one. It's connected. It's aligned. Finally, I can think about playing guitar and have this feeling about the type of song I want to make, and then physically do it. Finally, because for so long I was stuck thinking that I had to be this, thinking that I had to be that, considering all the expectations, considering all the people in the world, all of the, hoo-ha, whatever. It's a lot, especially when you're young, and especially in a society where, right out of adolescence, I mean, you're hardly even out of adolescence, you're still in adolescence, you're going to this institution to try to know, all right, well, what are you one with? What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And they don't even frame it. It's not even framed that way. It's not even framed in the way of, okay, well, what is the most important to you? What are you passionate about? What's going to fuel you when it comes to every single day doing this day in and day out? Is it going to fuel your fire? Is it going to make you fired up to live? Is it going to make you grateful for the experiences that you have? Or is it going to make you dread it? Is it going to make you miserable? Are these the things that you actually don't want in your life? Because, I have people, friends, really close friends, people that I love, that have oriented their lives to doing things that they don't necessarily like at all for money or to fulfill the expectations of somebody else, maybe their parents or somebody they want to impress. So often there are things in life that take us out of oneness, that separate us, that bring us into this duality almost, that it's like you're arguing with yourself or you're fighting with yourself about what it is that you really want or what it is that you really want to do. And you're so caught up in that you don't even take a moment to just breathe, relax, rest. Because you already know the answer. It's in you. Like, you already know what you need. For real. So often I try to seek what I need in other people or in other things and external whatevers. Make me happy. Fill my void. Tell me what it is that I need. But I'm so caught up in everything. Oh my gosh. But then when I take a second to sit back, relax, be real with myself, be one with myself. What is it? What do you really need? Well, I really feel like I need some truth. I really feel like I need somebody to freaking be honest with me right now. Am I okay? Is what I'm doing okay? Like, gosh, sorry, y'all, to make it personal, because I really do want this to be something that we can work on together. But to break myself down, there was a lot of times where I felt I was alone because of the things that I've experienced. Really unique things that have only really happened to me. And over time, I talk to my friends and people that I love, the people closest to me about this, like, it's come to my attention that some of these things that I've experienced have kind of been a little bit made for me. I've handled really hard stuff in a way that, looking back on it, I'm shocked that I was as optimistic as I was or as positive as I was, because definitely the traumatic or the depressing factors that have followed some of the things that I've gone through have caught up to me a little bit. Like that darkness that kind of looms, that dark cloud that tries to chase you, that it's caught up to me a little bit. And many times I felt like I'm alone in doing this. I'm alone in wanting to see people feel fulfilled and to watch them live their best lives and to encourage other people to do the same things, that we're all living our best lives and we're all, and how sad is it that, like, when I have these thoughts and these feelings of wanting to, see us all be happy in this world and see us all, achieve the things that we are passionate about, especially my generation, because a lot of the older people have kind of gotten caught up in the financials or in the power or in the greed or the lust or the pride or the envy or the wrath, like all these sins that are talked about in religion. And sorry, I was a religion student when I was at school, so I'm gonna kind of pay homage, pay reference to those things, just because that's the realm that I have kind of been brought to realizing how deep some of these, like, spiritual practices actually get when it talks about these values and these qualities of humanity. Because when you get so lost in these inherently selfish ideals or values, you really do only live for yourself. And when you're only living for yourself and you're not really contributing or communicating to anybody else and in their journey, you get in your own world. And I'm sorry, but that's the danger of being one, is that if you think that oneness is literally just one thing, or literally just one world, or literally just one person, just one, making it the small one, making it a one that is, super specific, only oriented towards one source or one person or one point, you lose it. Oneness is about allness. It is about wholeness. It is about taking it all in, and kind of an all for one or a one for all mentality. It's one for all, not all for one, and not everything for just one point or one source, but it's the oneness of everything going to everything, and it's dangerous when you get stuck in that one world mentality where I'm number one, I'm the chosen one, I am the one, because then everything, you're going to start to perceive your reality as everything belongs to you, or everything needs to be yours. I need to make all the money, or I need to have all the power, and therefore, things can listen and obey me. Bruh, I'm sorry, but that's a lonely existence, and you're never going to get there. You're never going to feel like everything is just for you, because, sorry, but it's not. There are so many spirit souls. There are so many different manifestations of consciousness, of sentient life on this planet, that everybody needs some. Everybody needs a little one. So how are we supposed to make one towards just one person or one thing? How are you supposed to be the chosen one when everything is one, bruh? You can't. And that's the danger in only living in your one world without opening it to other people, or to other experiences, or to other perceptions, other conscious modes of knowing. I keep going back there, but these are important things. These are the things that have kind of made this realization real for me. Is seeing it in action, and observing other people living in either their oneness straight to it, and I've seen people in that where they are one with the values. They know that their one world is important, but it's not the ultimate. That other people are experiencing too. That other people have, and they use their oneness to impact and inspire other people. And I've felt that, and I'm on the same train, bro. I want to do the same thing. I want to help people. I want to use my oneness, oriented towards helping you find your oneness, oriented towards us, helping us find our oneness. And once we find our wellness, our oneness, I mean, it is wellness though. It is wellness. Sorry, I keep getting in my head, because I want to be well. I want to be in my well-being, and to me, oneness is that. Oneness is like to know what you need, to know that I need healing right now, to know that I need assistance, I need sympathy, I need empathy, I need help. All of that, all of it. I mean, and it can be anything, right? It can be anything. Maybe your oneness, you do need money. Oh my gosh, so what are you going to do? For me, I want to make money in a way that's one with me. So honestly, I've been living, and you'll learn more about this in the future, but I've been living off of this settlement that I got from almost dying, from being attacked by a dog, and bleeding out, and just a little traumatic experience that it helped put me through as much school as I could. But then I also realized, I want to do something with this. I want to, instead of, and school is a very appropriate way to get to do what you want to do, and to have the opportunities that will propel you in your dreams, if that's where you're meant to be. There are no classes on how to become a rapper. There are no classes on how to start an independent podcast. A lot of that stuff it's rubrics and assignments and scripts, and being told what to do, instead of celebrating your free thought, celebrating free expression. And that's a lot of what I'm about. That's a lot of where my oneness comes from, is being free to say and think and be the person that I want to be, and honestly that I need to be, even if that is goofy, even if that is clumsy a little bit sometimes. I'm trying to break that, y'all. So I'm trying to have enough humility where my selfish wants and needs aren't the most important, where I can see the bigger picture, where I can see what really needs to be done, that there are other people with wants and needs that are more important than mine being met right now. Because as of right now, I, have enough food. I have enough water, enough stimulus when it comes to work, and enough stimulus when it comes to play. Like I'm feeling like I am reaching a point of finally exhale, being fulfilled after all the craziness that I've been through. Finally reaching a point of self-fulfillment where I can look at myself and be proud of what I've been through and how I've come out of it. And actually, and not prideful, but actually legitimately proud. Like looking at myself like, bro, you've done it. I don't know, but at least done something. Yeah. Like you're on your way. And this one thing I think is pretty righteous, bro. Like I like that you're committed to this. I like that this is your thing because the more that I get into it, the more it starts to make sense to me. The more that I start to feel that feeling that, yeah, I'm meant to be here, bro. I'm meant to be doing this. I'm meant to be giving this perspective to you. I'm meant to be giving you whatever knowledge I have to hopefully feed into wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing and what you want to orient yourself towards doing next. But really, I've got to stay humble because I don't know everything. And as much as I, again, want to be one with it all, tapping into that infinite wisdom, there are times and places for that, and there's also a time and a place just to be yourself. And this is a little bit of a mixture of that, me tapping into some infinite wisdom in the conscious feng shui of everything, but also just showing you who I am, who Caden Kazee is, and why being one is so cool, so important. Yeah, super everything to me. So, because through it all, I've seen how it's contributed. I've seen how it's played a part. I see how it is a part of the oneness that I am, and I can't help but feel grateful for that, even if it hurt me, even if it was out of this world enjoyable. Seeing the balance in, having that good time. I was meant to have that good time then. Having that bad time, sorry me, but I was meant to have that bad time then too. And yeah, experiencing the balance of that, experiencing how all of my experiences meet to create me in this moment, to create this now, and how now is creating the next now. And like, why is that important? Well, I've been kind of getting into that, but I think because of how often we tell ourselves fate has control. Where I was born, the skin I was born into, the feelings that I have, the thoughts that I have, I'm trapped. I'm trapped by them. I'm stuck. That's who I'm going to be forever. This is it. This is forever for me. This is it. I'm just going to be, the white kid, born at Southfield, live in Livonia, but his heart belonged to Detroit. Okay, well, I can get stuck in all of that, but who really am I? What does being in Detroit really mean to me? What does my family really mean to me? What does my upbringing really mean to me? And how am I going to be real with myself? How am I going to be honest with myself about how I feel about those things? How am I going to find the friendship and the honesty and the truth and the awareness and the oneness with myself if I don't start cultivating that relationship, if I don't start reflecting, if I don't start, at least putting some attention onto myself? Because everything else is begging for attention, but it's sorry, but a lot of it's going to still be there. Are you willing to find that oneness with yourself before going back to everything, because everything can kind of take a hold and say, oh, this is what you're one with, this is what you're one with, here's who you are, and trying to define you for you. And then people think that that's fate. All right, just take me. I surrender. Control my life. In The Alchemist, I'm going to reference that book a lot, but that's told as the greatest lie. That's the greatest lie that we can ever tell ourselves, is that we lose control of our own fate, that our destinies aren't already in us. Letting something else, something other, become our primary focus. Trying to tap into our ultimate potential, our ultimate power in a righteous way. Not power as in power lust, but power as in true power. To be able to decide, to be able to determine who you are. What's my destiny? Who am I going to be? How am I going to spend the time in my life? How am I going to put my effort and my attention into what I do? That's powerful. And that can create change. And honestly, it's taken a lot of change happening to me to realize that I can change too. I mean, especially in this season, especially what's been happening this year. Oh my gosh, was I beaten down to the ground. My face was shoved in the mud, y'all. I was not on my feet. Hardly, I don't even know if I could even call it being on my knees. Like face flat in the mud. This year sucked. It sucked. And at some point I was a victim to it. I became a victim to this year. Why is this happening to me? Universe, I thought, if I'm going to be one, if I'm going to help people find oneness, if I'm going to really talk about this message about being one, help the world hear me. Help me become a person that can be heard, can be understood. And then everything that I am afraid of, everything that I, want to try to save us from, just hit us all. Like, shit hit the fan. And sorry that I said the S word for any kids, any cousins that are listening, but it did. And I was a victim. There were days that I should have spent writing and rapping and making this music for you that I spent in bed. Freaking sad. Like, really depressed. And I'm the only reason I'm sharing this with you is maybe some of y'all have felt the same. Maybe some of y'all have been broken down by this year and felt victimized and felt like, fate is taking a hold. Fate is taking a control of you. That you don't have a say anymore. That you've lost the power to be able to determine who it is that you are. What it is that you want to do. This podcast and my music hopefully can help you refine that. Find that in yourself again and get healed from being afflicted from all the negative energy that's been going on, because it's not forever, it's not permanent, and trust me, it ain't it. This negativity that's just in the air or around the world right now, it's not forever, it's not permanent, and it ain't it. As this world isn't made to be evil. This world isn't made to break us down beyond all repair. No. People do that. People try to break you down. There are some vicious, negative people out there, y'all, that try to break you down, that try to convince you that they have more power, try to convince you that they have more control, try to convince you with status or with titles or with money or with whatever, that they have more of a say. You're one too, homie. You've got the power. But with power comes great responsibility. Spidey, your friendly neighborhood one, here to tell you. And true power, I believe, is only really given to those who deserve it. people who can really impact other people who can really inspire and motivate other people to help change their lives, that type of power, that type of oomph, I mean, one day I hopefully will be able to have that ability with other people, and because I think that's really what a lot of us really want for each other, is the ability to help each other get up, the ability to help each other realize again who we are, what we're capable of, what we're meant to do here, yo. We're just gonna sit around and let life happen to us? Us? Nah. We've already seen the repercussions of that. We've already seen the consequences of sitting around and doing nothing. I felt a lot of that. A lot of my actions lately have been independent. Been trying to seek myself, find that alignment, find that enlightenment. But it's brought me right back to here. It's brought me right back to wanting to feel like I gotta share this with people. I gotta be in the mix. I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to help broaden your awareness, help broaden your truth. Help you tap into that potential and find your oneness. Be one. I mean, if this was all meant for me, dude, sorry, but I'd be ripping riffs and doing all this crap just for my own self-gratification. But that ain't worth it to me. That ain't worth it to me. I want to see y'all succeed. I want to see y'all be happy. So often, bro, I wish somebody had done that for me. So often I wish somebody had just stood up and said, you know what? I actually care about your happiness. It doesn't even matter whether or not I know who you are. I really want you to be happy. In the right way. I don't want you to have to feel like you have to do anything that is evil or bad just to be happy. Stealing, swearing and cursing people and speaking negativity into your life and their lives, and trying to find happiness that way, you won't. We have to be here for each other. We have to try to find oneness with each other. I mean, sorry y'all, but I truly believe this stuff. This thing, oneness, the realization, and where it's brought me now, and how I can share it with you, is the coolest thing to me. It gasses me up, fires me up. And some of this stuff I've repeated, some of this stuff I've kind of said over and over again, but I really want to nail it down for myself and nail it down for you, what this really is. And how do we get there? Well, the cool thing about the universe is that we have free will. We're not all just a bunch of bots who are programmed just to say yes and no all the time. We get to actively take time, think over our decisions, consciously apply ourselves. So how do we get there? I think it's using that tool. Using our consciousness, using the thing that I believe is already oriented towards oneness. If you start to make your decisions, your choices, intentionally, maybe you meditate on it for a little bit. Maybe you get inspiration and motivation from somebody else. Whatever it is that is, I believe that it's going to orient you towards oneness, whether or not you fail or whether or not you succeed. If you succeed, it might show you, hey, I'm really good at this, I want to do more of this. Or it might say, or you might see, I succeeded at this. This actually ain't my thing. Like, the gratification that I get after being successful in this field, it ain't enough for me. I really want to try something else. And maybe there's something that you try and you fail. And you realize, actually, this isn't what I wanted to do at all. Or you try and you fail and you realize, oh, this is something I really want to get better at. Like, it's taking a chance. And again, being truthful with yourself, being aware, being honest with yourself, those are the first two steps. You've got to get through to yourself first before you start making decisions saying that it's oriented towards your oneness if you don't even know what your oneness is. And it's It's a long process, y'all. I'm still learning. Okay, how can I be a better one? How can I be a better Caden? How can I be a better self? But the cool part is once you start, I mean, there ain't no breaks. Everything starts to make more sense, starts to feed into your oneness a little bit more. You start to see the things that feed into you in a positive way, that bring you closer to that feeling, and the things that are like, that don't feed you at all, that actually like are trying to take your food, trying to, starve you. You can see that stuff a little bit clearer. And at first it's tough, because there are some things that, take away from you that you really wish didn't. And it's hard to let go of those things. And then there are things that feed you that you might take for granted. You don't see how much they feed you. And, sometimes for some of us, we have to lose those things that feed us to realize, oh my gosh, I actually need that thing. That's why music and spirituality and life, the things that I'm interested in, they've told this story of one through my orientation of them, through my understanding of them. Like my music, it started off amateur and in this very apartment that is half underground and from an old aluminum can factory, and like my first tracks are pretty novice out there, y'all. I mean, still bring the heat. I still bring the freaking fire flames, but it's cool to look back and see that even in my music or in my spirituality or even in my life or in my studies of anything, you start somewhere. And it ain't perfect. And honestly, I don't know if it ever will be. Especially to the standards that some of our egos hold. Trying to be perfect out here. There's been a huge movement that I've seen about progress over perfection. I love that, because you gotta start somewhere, and it ain't gonna be perfect, and only you can take it where it's gonna go. So just be one with yourself, be cool with yourself, and do those things that feed your soul. Do those things that help tell your story, that help show you your oneness, because that's valuable. You're valuable, and you shouldn't forget that. And again, these distractions, the world, society, it tries to tell you, tries to convince you otherwise. Don't listen to that. If anything, listen to a guy talking for an hour about how you shouldn't listen to that. Honestly. And I'm not plugging myself. I'm being real. Like, if you're out there listening to the world feed you some BS, come back here, homie. I'll tell you what's up. I'll tell you the truth. I can't afford to not tell you the truth. I'm sorry, if I did, I'd be going against the whole thing. I'd be going against myself. I'd be going against my oneness. That ain't the point, homie. That ain't the point. It takes practice. Gotta pay attention. Gotta try to notice when the oneness is speaking to you. When it's saying, hey, stop doing this. You know it don't feed you. So stop. And when it's telling you, hey, more of this, you see how you're feeling right now. You know how you're feeling right now. More of this. This helps. Yeah, just practice. Try to meditate. Try to give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to breathe. I know I haven't been doing those meditation breaks in every episode, but do that for yourself, please. And remember to look within. That's where you'll find it. You'll find your oneness from within, and things outside, in the external, in reality, will reflect that. It will reflect what you're feeling and what you're thinking, because it's your perception. You are the controller of your consciousness, of your life. So when you perceive things and they're speaking to you from the external, you'll feel it. But look inside too. Look inside your heart, look inside yourself, see what it is that you really, what do I want to speak out to me? What do I want to look at and feel more from? Because now, whenever I listen to a song about oneness, whenever I, hear a meditation or like anybody who's a little bit more experienced and wise than me talk about oneness, that stuff speaks to me deeply now. I feel it. More than just hear it, more than just see it, I feel it. It's deeper, it moves me. Brings me closer. That's the cool thing, is oneness was something that started within, but now I see it everywhere. And now I see it in everything. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, sorry, but like, how did I not see it before? And maybe I can help get you to that realization too, that epiphany of, how did I not see this before? My life is telling my story. My life is helping me become who I am. Everything is trying to help me. Am I willing to accept that help? Or am I just going to keep pushing it away? Me, I'm begging for help, yo. I want to know. I want to know. And it's hard because you might want to judge yourself. You might want to victimize yourself. I'm feeling that way right now. I've been talking for 50 minutes and, I'm feeling a little insecure about, is anybody actually going to watch this? Feeling like beating myself up over burping right now. Wow, so inappropriate. But also all the times that I've stuttered or repeated myself, or, times that I've shown in this webcast that I am total noob status. Like, I might feel a little insecure about that. A little self-conscious. A little worried. Might look back on this and judge myself. Might look back on this and, oh, poor one. Wanting to know everything about the universe, but not quite yet grasping that how important or how real it is. If only I knew back then what I know right now. I might look back and on this, but, again, this is a moment that's bringing me to who I need to become, who I want to be, because I really do believe that I want to do this. Like, the feeling that I get doing this, it helps me break some stuff down in my own head, helps me break down the one philosophy, but also to give it to you, and also to open the door up for criticism, or just thoughts and reflections, or advice, or questions, even if you have them. Like, regardless of whether or not I'm total noob status and sometimes embarrassing myself through how many times I stutter or how many tangents I take. Hopefully somewhere in this there's a piece of it for you that helps you, but also breaking that down to myself to not be so worried about that. Who cares if you stutter, bro? Who cares if you talk forever about what you love? Who cares if you're trying to foster that type of love into other people and have them have that in their lives? Fine. If this is how I gotta do it, then let me do it, bro. Let me do the thing. It takes practice. Before I end this episode, I do want to tell you about the things to be aware of when becoming one, when on your journey to find the things that you want to be one with and to really go all in. Again, be careful of being closed off, being in only the one world mentality. I am my own world. Oneness is only with me. I am the only one. I'm sorry, but that's kind of like, it's like a paradoxical trap that the universe tries to put you in. Because if people only think that they're the one and only, then you can see that in how they live. You can see that in how they think. You can see that in who they are. Like, you can tell when a person is inherently only in their own world and not really open or willing to participate in the actual world, which, sorry, but contributes a lot more than just you. So be careful with that. Don't get stuck in that. Try to start to actually molt from that, to evolve and to metamorphosize from your little cocoon of oh, this is my world and this is where I'm safe. Because you start off as like a little, this is a great analogy, bro. You start off as a little caterpillar, and you're taking in all the leaves, all the information, all the food. Like, I'm thinking hungry caterpillar right now. Can you tell? I'm a little hungry myself, so this is like the vibe. But you're this little hungry caterpillar taking in all this information, blah blah blah. Then you get in your cocoon. You figure out, who is it that I am? What is it that I want to be? Kind of going into your own world for a second. But then once you emerge from that. Don't get stuck in your own world. Don't get stuck in your own thoughts or your own beliefs, your own truths, and hold that to be the ultimate over anything else. Be willing to, as you turn into your beautiful butterfly, to celebrate other butterflies, other people who have come out of their cocoons and who are, celebrating more than just themselves, celebrating more than just their own personal wealth or their own personal gain, but are also willing to, see that in themselves, but also see that in other people. I think that's important for us as we grow up and mature, speaking to my generation, because I don't want to see us repeat history. I don't want to see us just become selfish, whatever people that just try to run the world without anybody else knowing what the F is going on. I think I want to be going towards more of a transparency, clarity, truthful, honest existence. And, I can't do that by myself. I can't do that by myself. So here's me being honest with you about that. And another danger is to be wary of how you're impressioning other people and how they're impressioning you. You can probably tell by a lot of what I say. I try to keep it very open for you. I don't want you to think that my way of oneness is your way of oneness, and that has to be what you follow footstep by footstep and, match me completely. No, please, honestly, when it comes to being me, you're never going to compete. I'm sorry. But like, I am the only me there is. So if you're going to try to be me, you're only discrediting yourself from becoming you, from being the best you. So try not to be as impressionable when it comes to other people trying to project their truth onto you. Because a lot of people seem to have a great idea of who you should be, but hardly ever do they have an idea of who they themselves should be, right? They always have an idea of what you could do better. You could do this, that, blah, blah, blah. But do they ever come out and say, hey, you know what? I see what you did there. Here's what I've done in my past. Here's what I've blah, blah, blah. Maybe this will help you. That's what I'm trying to do, bro. So hopefully I'm not coming off as being too impressionable, because I do want to, make an impression on you. I do want to, here's who I am. But I want that to be in a way where you take that and you make your own out of it. You take the words that I'm saying and you reflect on them in the way that you need to. Whatever sticks out of what I'm talking about is meant to stick for you. And what is that making you think? What is that making you feel right now? Where is your oneness taking you? Where is your journey trying to take you? Are you listening to that? Or are you being, impressed on by other people? Are they putting their expectations or their prejudices or their projections of what reality is on you? You don't need to bear that, homie. You should only bear what reality means to you. And I need to start learning my own lessons, bro. Gosh. Because reality to me is this beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, look at how what are the chances that all of this is here and that we can just be a part of it and be in it. All the things that came together. Oh my gosh, all the coincidences. Oh my gosh, it's just like, you know? So when I get impressed on by people, when I have their projections of reality saying that, well, saying a lot of stuff, saying I'll never make it. You know, maybe a kid like me will never make it in music, or a kid like me making a podcast like this will never be listened to. Or, you know, there's a lot of different things that people might project and try to diminish my self-worth. But I've been there. I've already been there. I've already been on the lowest of the lows of self-worth, and I'm ready to try to build up from that. I'm ready to try to find my worth. I'm ready to try to help you find your worth. So, yeah, last piece of advice is actually just a question. I want to ask you, how true are you? Because the more that you get aligned with that truth and find your oneness, the universe knows, homie. Karma is infinity for infinity. You're not going to be able to do anything in this world without the universe knowing. The universe made you. Everything came into the perfect time and place and situation for you to be here, listening to the podcast, listening to me. So I want to ask you, how true are you to it? How true are you to the universe? How committed are you to life? How real are you? Because the universe knows. The universe knows when you're bullshitting. Knows when you're faking. Because it made you. The very energy that you use to participate in all the things that you do on the daily comes from the universe. It's borrowed. You're using it. How are you using it? Because how you use it depends on how the universe uses you, bruh. All right. Well, hopefully things are meant to be as they're meant to be, and we'll get to see more of that here. But I kind of want to talk more about these hindrances, talk more about these obstacles before we get back to the good stuff, because becoming one is not as easy as just talking for an hour on a podcast. Yeah, it's definitely a worthy commitment. I don't see myself wanting to do or wanting to be anywhere, anything else. But there are things that I've had to overcome in order to make it worthy, and to help find that self-worth that I was talking about. So next episode, we're going to start off on the 3 biggest obstacles, the 3 biggest afflictions, darknesses, if you will, that hinder, that block you from becoming one. And disclaimer for these next episodes, I am gonna keep going in like this. So and we're talking about fear. Fear is the first one. So I'm gonna keep going in. I'm gonna talk about things oriented around fear, and it can get a little intense when I start talking about that stuff. So this is just my disclaimer to you for the next episode and the next episodes, because we've talked about the 3 steps to becoming one: being more aware, trying to find that truth, and then orient yourself to make the decisions to become one with that truth. But you know, there are things that are blocking that. Fear is the first one. And we'll go over that next week, and it'll be a happy first month, and we're going to talk about fear. So that's what's coming up, and we'll talk about the other things that have prevented me from becoming one in the past, and why it's happening now, how I'm finally getting a grip. And then after we talk about those 3 things, we'll talk about the 3 things that help me get over those. So we got lots in store for you, these next 6 weeks. So it's next month and a half, bruh. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you, and please keep giving me your feedback. I've heard back from some people, and bruh, shouting you out right now, it means the world. Thank you. Keep doing that. I gotta know. Oneness being the theme. This is probably one of the more important starting episodes. So that's why this ran a bit longer. But we'll see how much I want to break down fear factor over here. And yeah, I've got my notes. But thank you. For real. If you listen to all of this, you're a real day one, homie. Like you have officially achieved day one status in my books, because if you're actually here, committed, hopefully you're getting it. Hopefully this is making sense. I know I kind of, get into it, but it's all about finding yourself, finding what brings you that fulfillment, brings you that happiness, brings you back to knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you deserve to live a happy, wealthy life. And wealth beyond just money, wealth, like, you deserve to be surrounded by good people, good energy, good presence. Have things in your life that also reflect that worth. Just trying to get closer to being more one with that. So, you know what it is. Always peace and bless to you. And one day we'll get there. Peace.